Move on. So the cousin.
Anyway, so Cy would go to the beach where his cousin lived, and they'd have a blanket. We'd go with my friends, and we'd have a blanket. Before you know it, the blankets were touching. And the men were flirting with the women.
Oh my God.
And the fellow that I started dating was my husband's best friend.
Get out! Oh, I don't think I knew that. Oh, that's
Yeah.
story.
Doesn't matter.
So go ahead.
We got rid of him there.
Okay.
So, but my husband, I try to fix him up with my girlfriends. And he would say to this his friend, I want a girl like Rhoda.
Oh my
And
God.
the friend said, well, she's mine, but I wasn't his.
Oh.
But anyway, then he went into the service. And he was gone 3 years. He didn't come out till I was 20, 21, no, 20. I was 18 when he went to the service.
Was it love at first sight or not love at first sight? When
Huh?
you saw him, and said, "That's the man for me," or when
No,
you first saw
no.
your husband?
No.
I can't hear
No,
him.
Mom. No. It was love at first sight for him, but not for her.
okay.
Mom. So continue. He came back from the army, and then what happened?
I didn't want to see him. In the meantime, I got engaged to 2 different boys.
Oh my God. I forgot it. I mean, I forgot.
I had nothing to do with it.
Nothing.
One of the boys' mother took us down to the basement and said, I've got all of his baby clothes for your baby. So they announced our engagement. And I killed that right away.
Oh.
But I wasn't ready for my husband either. And my husband, my mother loved him. From the day she met him, she loved him. And my mother was a wonderful woman. I wish you would have known her. You would have loved her. There's Marcy. Marcy loved her. And she was my biggest promoter. She encouraged me when my husband said it won't work. We can't do that. Too much money. My mother would say, go for it.
So then what happened when Daddy came home from the army and Grandma? What
What,
happened?
darling?
Continue the story of when Daddy came back from the service overseas.
I can't hear a word you say.
Continue the story of when Daddy came home. What happened? You were telling the story.
Oh, yeah.
Then
So
Grandma-
anyway, my girlfriend's in my house, and my mother and my girlfriend are pushing me out the door. And I don't even want to go because I'm going to tell him I'm not going to be with him anymore. But he was gone 3 years, so I hardly knew him.
Did
And
you
I
write
was-
to each other?
I was
Yes.
18
Yes.
when he went overseas.
You wrote to each other, though.
Huh?
You wrote to each other.
We wrote to each other. But then I wrote him a Dear John letter.
Oh my
And
God,
his
just
mother
like my
wrote me a letter and said, over my dead body, will I let you marry my son? Meanwhile, I had no intentions of marrying him. But let me tell you something. There's nothing like a man in a uniform.
So true.
So what happened?
The cap, the army cap, the jacket. So we met. I walked halfway, he walked halfway. I took one look at him and I fell in love. That's 72 years ago, and I'm still in love. We're still in love, and I love that man.